Hi guys, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to the channel if you're new here. This week I'm attempting to get my customised Honda CG125 from the 1990s through its yearly MOT inspection. Now in the UK, an MOT is an inspection to make sure that the vehicle is roadworthy and safe. So let's see what they have to say. Hiya. I've just picked the bike up from the MOT test centre and I'm afraid to say it's a fail. Do not drive until repaired, dangerous defect. The suspension component mounting modified so the suspension is likely to fail other components. Front mudguard, front fork yoke mounting hits the wheel under load. That's a quick and easy fix. Basically, the mudguard hits the front wheel when you go over a bump. It was like that on the last MOT, nothing's changed. My shocks are still in good condition, so I don't know why they failed it this time, but they didn't last time. But there we go. I'm going to take the front mudguard off and that should sort that problem out. And that was a dangerous defect. And then I've got repair immediately, major defects as well I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major defects, and that's to do with the lights. I tested all the lights before I took the bike down to the MOT centre, obviously, to make sure everything was working, and it was absolutely fine. So I can only imagine maybe an earth has come loose or something like that. All direction indicators adversely affected by the operation of another lamp. Interaction when the brake lamp operated on all indicators. Stop lamp adversely affected by the operation of another lamp. All brake lights interactions with indicator. The headlamp aim unstable to be tested front. All position lamps not working. Dip beam does not operate immediately when selected on dip beam. Dip switch does not operate immediately when selected on main beam. Wheel bearing has slight play rear, but that was just an advisory. So I can ignore that one for now. Let's just try and work on these major defects and the dangerous defects. So where I've mounted this front mudguard, it moves with the fork because I've got upside down forks on here. And if I press down on the suspension really hard, doesn't quite hit, but maybe they managed to get it to hit. Let's take the front mudguard off and that sorts that problem. There we go. I actually prefer the look of the bike without the front mudguard on, but I put it on there as a mod to prevent the spray from the front wheel flicking over you while you're riding, and it worked quite well actually. Choke it. If you couldn't tell, this bike's been heavily customised, and it's the same for the electrical system. So it's got a split electrical system on this. It has a 12-volt battery underneath the seat, which powers the indicators and the brake light. And then the headlight and the side lights are powered from a 12-volt coil inside the magneto. So the engine has to be running for the headlight and the side lights to work. But as you can see, the indicators are working, and that's running off of the battery. And it's the same for the brake light as well. However, when I turn on the headlight, all you can see is a really dim glow inside there. So yeah, something is definitely not quite right. If we check the back end of the bike, brake light works there, the foot brake light works, left hand indicator works, right hand indicator works, but if we turn the side light on, nothing. Okay, so we need to check out the wiring. Let's start by removing the seat. And one here. I do like this bike because it's so simple to work on. Pop the seat off, and then we've got this bolt here, 13mm. Take the tank off. And then with this bolt removed, we can just slide the tank backwards. It's pretty full actually, so let's just be a bit careful. I'm just going to put that there. And I think our issue is probably with the wiring up here. This earth's pretty good, it's well and truly on there. The 12-volt battery side's working absolutely fine. The ignition circuit is working fine. It's just that lighting circuit from the magneto. And I think that's on either the white or the yellow circuit from this loom here. So let's trace that through and make sure all of our connections are together and made up properly in here, and then we'll check all of our earths as well. Actually, before we do that, let's just make sure we've got an output from the magneto. So this black one here, that's the ignition circuit. So that goes up to the ignition coil. So if I pull this out, the engine will stop. You see? So let's put that one back in and we'll start it again. I'm going to get my multimeter and check that we've got an output from these two. One's a charging circuit to charge the battery, and one of them is for the lighting circuit. So let's check our coils and make sure we've got an output from them. So find the ground, 18 volts AC on that one. So that must be the charging circuit. And then this yellow one, see what we've got there. Yeah, 11 volts AC out of that one. So that's working fine. And if you were wondering what the green wire is, that goes down to the neutral switch on the gear selector. Make sure these go back in properly. So once I'd proved that the magneto was working properly and putting out the correct voltages for each circuit, I looked through this bird's nest of wires, making sure that all of our circuits were connected and that there weren't any loose or disconnected grounds. I'm going to start it up and play around with the wiring and just see if anything happens, because I can't actually see anything wrong there. I worked my way through the circuits trying to find this fault, and then eventually I managed to get it working. The only problem is I can't tell you what was wrong with it because I don't actually know. I think it may have something to do with the rear lamp holder, because I was playing with the bulb, that started working, and then I checked the headlight and it was on. The quirks of a vintage bike, I guess. Is that a bit bright for a brake light? If we have a look at the rear bulb, we can see there's two filaments inside of it. We've got a thicker one and a thinner one. The thinner one's for the side light, which runs with the headlight, and the thicker one is just for the brake light, so it should run brighter. But currently it's working round the wrong way. Let's put the bulb back in. And let me just double check it. See, now the thicker filament is lighting up, so I think this bulb holder is a little bit dodgy. In the back of the bulb holder there are two pins, and they need to line up with the pins on the bulb. The earth is actually around the outside of the bulb, so then you've got two live terminals on the bulb. One is for the side light and one is for the brake light. So if they locate round the wrong way in the bulb holder, then it will work round the wrong way. So by rotating the bulb 180 degrees, it then corrected this fault. We're very nearly there now, but there's one more fault we need to address, and that's the interaction between the indicators and the brake light and side light circuit. As you can see, when the indicator's on and the brake light's applied, it starts flashing, and it's the same for the side light as well. As I said previously, this is a split system, so it's got two separate circuits. However, they share the same ground. So what's happening here is one circuit is dragging down the other one due to an imbalance of voltage. And this is caused because I've got a flat battery. So if we charge that battery up, it should restore the voltage in that circuit so it's balanced across both. And then we should have a stable brake light and side light. There we go. Full beam, dipped beam. Let's button it back up, and then I think we should be good to go for a retest. I added this little port here to charge the battery, just off of a, 12 volt, 500 milliamp charger. It's MOT retest day. I've got a lot of running around to do today, quite literally. I'm training for a marathon, so I'm going to tie that in with doing the bike's MOT as well. Left indicator, brake light, not flashing. right indicator, brake light not flashing, side light pretty dim but it will do, left indicator, right indicator, full beam. That's better. Okay. I've just picked the bike up from the MOT test centre and I'm pleased to say this time round it's passed, with one advisory for the wheel bearing has slight play on the rear. But I'm feeling the rear wheel and I can't feel any play in that bearing, so I don't know why they've put that down, but there we go, they know best. And since the last MOT, I think I've done 110 miles, so hardly anything on this bike. I would really like to ride it a bit more this year, when the spring and summertime comes around. So I just need to tax it. It's got an MOT, I'm insured, and we're all good to go. But I probably won't have that much time to ride it because I've got a new project coming up on the channel, which I'll introduce you guys to in the next video. However, when I went to pick up this project, it went completely wrong. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks to everybody that supports and subscribes to the channel. I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, so if you'd like to, click that subscribe button below, give this video a thumbs up, and if you hit that alarm bell and set notifications to all, you'll be notified when I post new videos. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye for now.